Happy Star Wars weekend! It's May the 4th, so we're making this a whole weekend deal because we can, and this is the right show for it. So, with the new Star Wars cast announcement, we have a lot of speculation as to who these people are, well, who these people are playing, rather. We know who the actors are, but let's go over it a little bit, if we can. So here is the monumental first picture of the cast.
I like how R2-D2 is being uncrated
And
there.
here is writing. This came from, I believe, IO9, describing where everyone is. In these kinds of table reads or reads, they tend to place characters who are somewhat related to each other in the script with each other, which is why they believe, for one, that Daisy Ridley is now the young solo daughter of Han and Leia, I guess ostensibly replacing Jaina Solo, as we've realized that the expanded universe has been cut, but they will be taking bits and pieces as they like to create a new canon.
Can I just say that this taps into like such a strong nostalgic feeling for me? Like, I wasn't alive in the 70s. There's no reason that this picture should make me feel all these feelings.
It's pretty awesome that they did it in black and white, too.
Yeah,
It does
Because
feel
so many
nostalgic
of the behind-the-scenes
That might be
photos
it.
from the original series were in black and white, and this kind of, I think, plays really true to the way JJ Abrams has stated he wants to do the new movies like the original three movies.
Of course, we have executives placed in the middle spots, sort of, but we also have, you know, the Solo family, the good guys, and who. A lot of the speculation has been over, is John Boyega, is he going to be I'm doing air quotes, a bad guy? Or is it Domhnall Gleeson? We
Is it because he's black, Kim?
No,
because that's not cool.
No, look where he's sitting. He's sitting next to Adam Driver. Adam Driver has been confirmed as a villain. And we don't really know what Oscar Isaacs is doing either.
But Adam Driver's leaning towards him, so are we doing like a Last Supper type analysis?
I don't know if they're buddies
like if Fon and I make a V, does that mean anything?
Look, I don't like you touching our guests on that, so don't do that. But there's an order and a rhyme to it, and that's what makes people think, they're speculating as to who is who so far.
What if they're all performance capture characters and none of them are actually going to be in the movies?
Except Andy Serkis.
They're all CG characters. They're all CG characters, yeah.
Right? And we have reaction from Luke Skywalker himself, Hamill himself. UK table read, I was knocked out by the diverse and extraordinarily talented new cast members. Wow, they're good. The saga is in superb hands. I don't think he was ever going to say, they suck, I hate this, because he might get
I'm really having second thoughts about this whole sequel thing.
Well, actors actually have a code for saying that exact thing. What they usually
yeah?
say is, it was extremely challenging in ways that I've never been challenged. If you hear that, that's usually like,
this thing is a train wreck.
I'm glad we're here for you to
that's
give us the inside scoop.
Yeah, well, yeah, you see it all the time in like behind the scenes. People talk about challenging directors or challenging movies. It usually means I had a bad experience, and you just don't say that because
you will get fired or not hired again.
Well, yeah, it's the freelance nature of our business. So
let's try to look at some of the cast pictures and go one by one who we think they might be. So first we have British actor John Boyega. He's 22 years old. He was in 2011's quirky and funny Attack the Block, and he's been gaining steam as an actor ever since. He will be in the new season of 24 as well. Do we think this guy will be a bad guy, an anti-hero?
I mean, I guess if we're going off the fact that he's sitting next to Adam Driver, but I mean, how many bad guys do we need in this movie?
Some people were saying, is he Lando's son? Which makes me feel like, is there only one black family in the entire galaxy group?
There aren't many.
Wait, Mace Windu is related to Lando?
What?
His line is ended. This is Oscar Isaac. He's a 34-year-old actor, born in Guatemala, raised in Miami. He has such credits as The Nativity Story, Robin Hood, Sucker Punch, Drive, The Bourne Legacy, and Inside Llewyn Davis.
With Adam Driver.
With Adam Driver, who will be a villain.
So, therefore, because they were in a movie together, he's got to be a villain too, right?
No. Somebody pointed out to me that he has these big doughy eyes that could also be like steely, which is good for sitting in the cockpit of, let's say, an X-Wing.
Dreamy-eyed pilot, got it.
Some people were comparing
That's
him
rational.
to...
He's got big eyes, he's good at flying
I'm
fighters.
joking again.
He can
Some people
bullseye a
were
womp
saying,
rat.
He
Life
might
is
be
hard.
the new Han Solo or something like that.
But we have old Han Solo.
Well, yeah.
Clones.
So we have Andy Serkis, who was a complete surprise to most people in the casting list, and we don't know who he could possibly be, given
could be anyone.
his credits of appearing as Caesar, Gollum, so many CG characters.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Maybe
Do you think
he's gonna
he'll be
some sort of ape?
In the Mos Eisley
I think he's
band?
going to be something that doesn't look like Andy Serkis.
He might. I
That's
think he
why
might
you
even
get
be
Andy
like
Serkis.
a new
He is an
creature.
actor and a good actor, and I've seen his face and stuff.
Right.
But for the most part, when you sign on Andy Serkis, he's something else.
Really hoping son of Jar Jar.
Oh,
No?
no fun.
No?
No. But let's talk about Daisy Ridley. So she's a young British actress. She's relatively unknown. She's been in a few television shows. People are saying that she's the new Jaina Solo or the new Solo daughter. And I guess there's only one, so she's literally the Solo daughter.
Solo.
There's still only, what, 2 women in the room, right?
Yeah,
So we're
well-
There have been rumors that there is at least one more female part that has not yet been announced.
Yeah. Well, remember the casting notices that we were out, and we were all like speculating and staring at them intently. There was another female character, at least. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, people are still throwing around Lupita Nyong'o as potentially another cast
hot
member.
right
Also probably related to Lando, right?
Yeah.
So rude. We didn't really talk about Domhnall Gleeson, but he was, of course, in About Time, and he played Bill Weasley in the Harry Potter movies. People are thinking he might be comic relief or unrequited or requited love for Daisy's character, or maybe he's the guy who is actually Darkseid.
I get very nervous about the idea of any further comic relief other than R2-D2 and C-3PO, because that's where the prequel screwed up.
Yeah.
There's too much comic relief throughout the whole
that's
thing.
an
I didn't
interesting
need
thing to
relief.
bring
I didn't
up.
need to be relieved from an awesome Jedi space opera.
I had actually heard that C-3PO was the Jar Jar of the original trilogy for adults that went to see the movies. We all saw those as children, so it was a completely different experience. But a lot of people hated C-3PO the way
Really?
We should
adults
ask our
now hate Jar Jar.
Finally, show him. Max von Sydow. He is known, he's a 2-time Academy Award nominated actor. He starred in The Exorcist, Minority Report, Awakenings, Hannah and Her Sisters, and Shutter Island. He's 85 years old. People are speculating that he is a Sith Lord.
He absolutely has to be evil in some way. That's Max von Sydow. That's what he does.
But what if he's the new Obi-Wan type guy?
I feel like in general you put him in the same sort of character category as
could be a big
actors
fake
like
out.
Ian McDiarmid and Christopher Lee.
Yep.
I think that one of the things that's interesting about this cast is that very similar to the original trilogy, a lot of the actors that they cast for the leading parts are relatively young, unknown people. And you know, when Lucas did his casting for the originals, he didn't want people to get wrapped up in like, oh, that's this celebrity that I really like. You know, he wanted them to buy into it, that those people are those characters.
You were saying that the first 3 movies were relatively unknown actors that like,
Yeah.
and that's what made
With
those
the
movies
exception
great.
of like a couple of prominent British
With
guys.
Alec Guinness,
like,
yeah,
you know.
and Peter Cushing. But then the prequels were like a star-studded affair with Samuel L. Jackson and Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor
And the incomparable Liam Neeson.
But he didn't really use any of those actors. They were all really underutilized and stoic and didn't really get to, you know, show off their acting muscles.
Right, it was more focused on the spectacle and the visual effects and all that sort of stuff than it was on character and story, which I think because there were so many limitations when he was making the original ones, he was kind of forced to like rein in the craziness and focus on the actors a little bit more. So I hope that JJ can kind of follow that path a little bit more.
I hope that JJ doesn't get kind of set up the way I felt like we were set up on episode 1, in that the anticipation for the movie might not actually be able to meet everyone's expectations. Like how do you do that? That's a lot of pressure.
Will JJ Abrams cast be used as well as they could be used? Let's say more like the original cast. What do you think of that? Please let us know below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe.